Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen all over the place, all over the nation. This is the Road to a Million show. The Road to a Million show. We're on roadtoamillionshow.com. This is Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, your real estate mentor. We are all going together to the top. This is Daron Campbell. This is the Road to a Million show. I'm inside of Rollout Show Studios, and this is our favorite time of the week because we get to talk about growth and prosperity and opportunity and passive income. And oh my gosh, real estate is my passion. Real estate is what I have done for 27 years. $4 billion in transactions later. There's my tribe, always on point. You can count on my people. You can count on my people. What's up, people? Good morning, good morning. What's up to all of you? Good morning, good morning. You might be tuning in on Daron Campbell Coaching Facebook Live. You might be tuning in on Road to a Million Show.com. You might be tuning in on RolloutShow.com. Any of those three places is where you get to see and hear me talk to you about your prosperity, talk to you about your growth, talk to you about passive income, talk to you about how real estate has created more wealth than any asset class in the history of planet Earth. More wealth than any asset class in the history of planet Earth. So there's a lot of ways to make money. There's a lot of ways to grow. There's a lot of ways to become affluent. But real estate is the number one, tried and true, most consistent, predictable way to grow your wealth. And this is the Road to a Million. And the reason it's the Road to a Million, and the reason we call it that, is because success is something that happens. It's a process, and you go on a path. No one wakes up like you go to sleep poor and you wake up wealthy. That just doesn't happen. That's not the way it works. Wealth building is a process, and I'm here to break down that process and chop it up into little bitty digestible bites that will help you maybe take a step today towards prosperity, towards financial freedom, towards your freedom. Oh man, we talk about freedom a lot here. And freedom not in the traditional sense that people think, well, freedom means I can roam about however I want. Freedom, to me, is fueled by your ability to maneuver, do what you want, do it when you want, go where you want, go when you want, because you are financially secure. You're financially safe. You're liquid. Your passive income exceeds your monthly expenses. That's the definition of freedom. That's the definition of freedom. If I could go to Webster's and or Wikipedia and change the definition of freedom, I would say freedom happens where your passive income exceeds your monthly overhead. That's freedom, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Show over. See you tomorrow. No, the fact is, that's what the true definition of freedom is. And I'm here to just drop a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of knowledge on you so that maybe I can help you get a little bit further down the road to a million and help you find freedom. If your monthly overhead is $6,000 and you have passive income of $6,001, you're free. Shocking, huh? You thought you had to hit the lotto. You thought you had to get $10 million gifted to you by your rich uncle that you don't have. The fact is, you can become free immediately, quickly, by creating some passive income. Look, you can do it a number of ways. Lower your overhead and find a vehicle that gives you passive income greater than your expenses, or go ahead and live however you want. You can live like a king as long as your passive income exceeds that kingly lifestyle. Hey, if your lifestyle were $100,000 a month because you wanted to drive a Rolls Royce and live in a 12,000 square foot mansion, fine, $100,000 a month, no problem. As long as your passive income is bringing in $101,000 a month, you're free, you're rich, you're wealthy. Done and done. Done and done. See, a lot of people are confused about what wealth is and how to become wealthy, rich, whatever you want to say, however you want to term it. The fact is, the person who has $1 more coming in every month on autopilot, greater than their expenses, can live like a king, can live just like the wealthiest man on planet Earth. You see, you don't have to be Warren Buffett. You know, the fact of the matter is, freedom just happens when your passive income exceeds your expenses. Wow. How do I get there, Darren? Well, a good way to start is pare down your expenses a little bit. Why don't you lean out your expenses? And then once you start finding some vehicles to help you get some passive income. What about that? My tribe knows that. Hey, we've been talking about it for a while, haven't we, crew? I got Angie, I got Steven, I got Reynaldo, I got Cousin Eric, hashtag Cousin Eric, and I got Latanya, I got Donisha. Those are my folks. Did I miss somebody? I got Steven, Angie. I mentioned all the folks that are chiming in. That's my regular crew, and I look over there because they're tuning in on Facebook Live at Daron Campbell Coaching. You right here tuning in on Road to a Million Show.com and rolloutshow.com. So I got you guys are triangulating me. You're coming at me from every angle. I'm glad you're here. I don't care where you tune in from, as long as you tune in, because we're just trying to grow. We're trying to drop a little wisdom. We're trying to expand. We're trying to grow our brain, our body, and our bank account. We're not trying to really grow our body. We're trying to get better with our brain, our body, and our bank account. That's called completeness, ladies and gentlemen. It's called balance. And I lead with the money thing. I lead with the passive income thing because that freedom allows you to do the other things with a little bit more comfort, with a little bit more ease, with a little bit more, I don't know, you can relax a little bit more when your money's right. So let's get our money right, and then we're gonna get everything else right at the same time, our body and our bank account. If we are managing all those things and all those things are in a good place, I predict that you got your best chance, your best shot at happiness when you got a fully developed brain, a well-developed, healthy body, and a really, really healthy bank account. Whoa, how about that for completeness? All right, we got a really, really interesting, fun, definitive, informative topic today. Today's topic is the 4Ds. The 4Ds. You guys over here know what I'm talking about already. My crew, the tribe, they already know what the 4Ds are. I'm about to drop it on all of you. We're going to drop a little wisdom today. We're going to drop a little science on you today. I'm going to show you where to find the most motivated sellers on the planet. The people who will sell real estate to you at a discount. The people who will sell to you cheaper than is necessary. The people that will sell real estate to you for 30, 40, 50 cents on the dollar. Uh-oh, that's a secret. I'm about to blast that secret out to the world. Hey, part of my job is to show you behind the curtain, ladies and gentlemen. I've been behind the curtain. I'm going to show you and tell you what they don't want you to know. Guess what? Secrets are coming out. DC is blasting the secrets. Hey, if they assassinate me or something, you guys know why, because I'm blasting the secrets. I'm showing you behind the curtain. These are things they don't want you to know. And if you don't know who they is, then you might be one of them. That's what I'm saying. Hey, I'm just going to keep it at that. Anyway, we're going to go to a short break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the 4Ds. We're going to talk about the 4Ds. That's hot information. That's hot information. Call your friends, share the page, like the page, tell everybody you know, hey, grab your cup of coffee and listen to this crazy dude, Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, your real estate mentor. He's about to drop some secrets on you that are going to make you wealthy. He's going to give you some information that could make you rich. Uh-oh, the 4Ds. Uh-oh, you guys know what I'm talking about. We'll be back in a few minutes to talk about the 4Ds. My people. Here we go. We are back. It's an exciting day because we are going to learn some cool stuff. Everybody can leave if Angie already taught you everything. Show's over. Angie is one of the original tribe, and she knows the answers to everything I mentioned. So she's already out there telling everybody the great news. But I like that, Angie. I like your enthusiasm, and she learns. When you tell her something, she never forgets. A lot of my original tribe, and I look over here because I'm talking to them right here. They already know the answers to all of my subject matter. You guys are going to get exposed to a whole lot of stuff that's in this brain, and then all of my sidekicks over here, they already know what I'm about to talk about. But I'm going to start bringing them on, and there's some colorful characters that hang with me. You guys are going to get to meet them soon. But this segment is where we're going to dive into a concept, some concepts. And what I want to teach you is that there is a strategic way, an informed way, an intelligent way to do anything. Same with growing your wealth. The same with building your empire. And this is about building your empire. That's what this whole big picture is. It's about becoming free. And how do you become free? You strategically implement a plan. You're going to strategically implement a plan that's going to systematically grow you to a point where a couple of years from now, that sounds like a long time, but it's not a long time. I mean, think about 2 years ago. Think about 2017. Doesn't that sound like yesterday? See, it was yesterday. Think about what you were doing 2 years ago. It feels like a few months. So don't worry about it when I say a few years from now or a couple of years from now. You can be free in a couple of years. Few years. And if you have, but you need a plan. You're not going anywhere without a plan. If you don't have a plan, look, I love that saying that says, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. And I believe that. I believe you need a system, you need a plan, you need a methodology to get free. Otherwise, you're not going to get free. Nobody's coming to save you. That's the secret. That's one of the big secrets, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what a lot of us are waiting for. We're sitting around waiting for the miracle to happen. We're waiting for the lottery to hit. Get out of that mindset and get out of the idea that someone's going to come and deliver your fortune to you. You can make your fortune happen. You can make your wealth happen. You can affect your future. That's what I want you to do. I want to teach you some things to help you build a systematic way for yourself, your family, to become free. Let's work on number one right now. And you work on number one by starting with some important knowledge. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to give you some insider secrets on how to win this real estate game so that you can find some freedom so that you can live your best life. And I contend that you can't live your best life if you're not free. And my freedom has money in the definition. And so a lot of people might say, money won't make you happy. But I say, yeah, maybe money won't make you happy, or money won't buy you happiness, but it's a hell of a down payment. So let's get some money, and then, let me be miserable with a whole bunch of money. And then we could talk about the rest. But I guarantee you, if you got no money, I guarantee you're miserable. But if you got a bunch of money, or at least you're financially free, then we can go buy our way to happiness. I could buy a few smiles if I want to, if I got my money right. If I can get my money right, I could buy a little happiness, don't you think? If I got my money right, I could buy a trainer to help me get in better shape. I could pay a chef to cook me nothing but the healthiest food. I could buy every book that I can buy to learn, to expand my brain. But if I'm broke, I'm handicapped. If I got no money, I'm handicapped. If I'm broken, if I'm digging my way, I can't figure out how to pay the rent, much less, money affects everything, you guys. It permeates every fiber of our lives. You know what? If I got plenty of money and I'm a little depressed, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fly first class to freaking Tahiti and get happy. Ladies and gentlemen, money is imperative. So don't let people tell you that nonsense about money. Money won't make you happy. There's my man Caesar. What's up, Caesar? I met Caesar at a blackjack table. I met Caesar at a blackjack table in Vegas. That's my dude. We're homies now. We spent some time losing some money at a blackjack table, and that dude is a real estate entrepreneur extraordinaire, and we were like immediately of like minds, and so that's how it happens sometimes. You know how you meet somebody, and 5 minutes into the conversation, you know that's going to be your friend for a long time? That's how me and Caesar hit it off in Vegas at the blackjack table. All right, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the 4Ds. Now, the 4Ds is something that it's kind of a phrase I coined. It's not a concept I invented, but the 4Ds is a phrase that I coined because I always set out to find where can you buy or how can you buy real estate at the best possible price. Darren, how can I buy real estate and know that I'm buying it correctly? You see, because when you buy anything, whether it's a car or a watch or a baseball cap, a smart purchaser looks for the best price that he can get it at, right? So, if you're going shopping for a new car, you want to shop around because one dealership might have that car for 30 grand and another dealership might have that car for 26. Well, it's worth you spending a little time to find the guy who's selling the car for 26,000 instead of paying an extra 4,000 after doing no homework, right? Real estate works the same way. So if you can find a real estate opportunity that you can buy at 70 or 80 cents on the dollar, then you make money immediately when you buy it. And there's this saying that says you make money in real estate when you buy. What does that mean? That means if you make the right deal at the point of acquisition, then you automatically have made money from day one. See, a lot of people, they go out and they buy real estate and they hope and pray that the market gets better and it goes up. But a savvy real estate investor, a savvy real estate purchaser buys real estate at a price that guarantees that they make money. Ooh, that's deep. That's deep. Like, for instance, if let's say you got Marlon's cars. Let's say you got an Infiniti and it's worth $35,000. And you find an opportunity with a guy who lost his job or who ran out of money or who already bought another car, and he's so anxious to sell his Infiniti that he's willing to sell it to you for $28,000. Why? Because he's got another car note to pay already, right? So that car's worth 35, but he's so motivated, he'll sell it for 28. What happens on the day you buy that car for 28 grand? You just made $7,000. Real estate, ladies and gentlemen, works the very same way. Now, what does that mean? Well, how does that relate to the 4Ds, Darren? You want to find motivated sellers in real estate. Now, have you ever known anybody that got behind on their mortgage and foreclosure was about to happen? You think that's a motivated seller? You think that's somebody who would sell like kind of in an urgent way? I won't say desperate, but maybe desperate. That's a motivated seller. And that person is prone, they're so anxious to sell you that real estate to get out from under the trouble that they'll sell it to you at a lower than normal price. So the 4Ds are descriptions of the situations. That's an important word. We're going to get back to it. The 4Ds are descriptions of the situations where you find the most motivated sellers. Uh-oh, the big reveal is on the way. The curtain is coming back. We are pulling the curtain back and we're showing you the behind the scenes. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to show you, I'm going to illustrate for you how the wealthiest of the wealthy buy their real estate. That's the secret that's coming out today, ladies and gentlemen. Daron Campbell is pulling the curtain back. If for some reason the screen goes dark and you see this big explosion, it's because they blew up the studio because they don't want you to know this stuff. They don't want you to know this stuff. This is the inside information. I'm giving you the inside. Why? Because I'm Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, your real estate mentor. I'm pulling back the curtain. I'm telling you what they don't want you to know. Hey, and I'm inviting you to chime in after you learn something good or you got a question. You can call me at 747-888-3082. 747-888-3082. We're going to be taking calls, but I'm going to be dropping some science on you along the way. So you can call in, and my man Nick will put you through. But let me get these concepts out and blow your mind. Here comes the curtain. It's coming back. I'm pulling back the curtain. If you hear an explosion, Marlon, it ain't Marlon this time. If you hear an explosion, it's because they blew up the studio because they don't want you to know these secrets. The big reveal is about to happen. Angie already told the whole tribe. Now I'm about to tell you. The 4Ds, the 4Ds, the 4Ds. These are the best situations in which you can find discounted real estate. Well, that's kind of like a fifth D right there, right? 4Ds are where you can find discounted real estate. Let's start with D number 1. What's the first D, Angie? Angie already told the whole world. The first D, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with death. Oh my God, death. What is he talking about? The show just got morbid. Why are you talking about death? This is not a depressing show, Darren. This is an exciting show. Death creates opportunities for you to buy discounted real estate. Why? How? What are you talking about, Darren? Do people die? Everybody does. Everybody's going to do it one day. What happens when people die, ladies and gentlemen, is they leave property behind to heirs, right? People who inherit some property. Some of you might have been fortunate enough that when a relative passed away, they had some assets, they had some property, and you might have been the beneficiary of, of some property that they owned. If they were like a smart investor or a savvy investor or a good saver, they might have bought a house. Your mother, your grandmother might have bought a home, and when they passed away, you might have been fortunate enough, if they were that savvy or smart or conservative, they might have owned a home and you might have inherited it. Do you think that happens a lot all over the place? Death creates all kinds of purchasing opportunities for you, because when people pass on, many times they leave real estate, and when they leave real estate to heirs, many times, and I mean many, many, many times, the heirs don't want the real estate. Wait a minute. So let's think about this. So grandma and grandpa purchased a home, and grandpa passed away 10 years ago, and grandma passed away last year, and me and cousin Elmo and Uncle Fred and Auntie Kiki inherited the house. And so we all own 25% of this house. So the house is like owned by 4 different people who live in 4 different places who, certainly don't want to live in the house together. So what do we do with this house? You know what they do? They call up Daron Campbell and they say, we all inherited this house and none of us wants to live in it. So could you sell it and we'll split the money? I go, sure, of course we can sell it. Now, and then Auntie Kiki says, yeah, sell it real fast because I need some money to buy a new car. And then I'm sitting there thinking to myself, Auntie Kiki going to be broke in 6 months. But never mind. Of course I could sell that. I could sell that property for you. And many times, these people are so motivated and so anxious to sell that property that even if the property is worth, let's talk about some numbers. Let's say grandma's house is worth $500,000 if it were all fixed up, right? Write that down, $500,000, all fixed up. And I tell the family, I say, look, if the house were all fixed up, you could probably get $500,000. But, the house is 50 years old and it's kind of run down and it needs some stuff, and grandma and grandpa didn't renovate it. So it's kind of a tired house. And I say, look, if you guys are willing to spend, $50,000, $60,000 to renovate the house, we could sell it for $500,000. And Auntie Kiki, since she want to get a new car, says, no, we don't want to fix it up. And no, we don't have $60,000 to put into it. Just sell it fast. How much could you get as is? How much could you sell it for right now? I go, well, we could put it on the market right now, not fixed up, for somewhere around maybe $425. Okay. And of course they say, yeah, do that. Is that the fastest way to get our money? Yeah, let's do that. I go, okay, we'll put it on the market for $425,000 as is. No repairs, no nothing. They go, yes, do that. And I put it on the market. And some savvy investor like you, maybe, how about you, the investor, you learned all this good stuff from Daron on the Road to $1 Million show, and you go, you know what? I think I see an opportunity there. there's a house that could be worth $500,000 if it were fixed up. This guy, Daron Campbell, just put it on the market for $425,000. A savvy investor comes in and says, hey, Daron, offer those people $400,000. I go, all right, I'll write that offer for you. We go offer Auntie Kiki and the gang $400,000. And as you'd expect, Auntie Kiki says, okay, deal, sell it, let's go. And the other heirs say, yeah, okay, we'll take 400 grand because that's money that we'll get like immediately. I go, yeah, within 30 days, we'll have it sold, we'll have it closed, and we'll distribute the money. Whoa, they're like, you mean we're gonna all get somewhere around, $90,000 each? I go, yeah, after expenses, after fees, you guys will walk away with, somewhere like $360,000. They go, do it, sold, accept. So guess what just happened? You, the savvy investor, just bought a house for $400,000. Write this down. You bought for 400 grand. It was listed for 425,000, but we all know that all fixed up is worth 500,000. What just happened here? You bought a $400,000 house that has a fixed up value of $500,000, and you get the opportunity to fix up that house yourself, fix up that house with your contractors, fix up that house gradually if you so choose. You just bought a house that's intrinsically worth $500,000, and you only paid $400,000 for it. Now, why did that happen? Because a motivated group of sellers, Auntie Kiki and the gang, were motivated to get their money fast, so they left money on the table. This happens every stinking day. Do you guys know every stinking day somebody like Auntie Kiki and the gang leaves $100,000 on the table? The savvy investor, the intelligent investor, the person who's watching and listening to the Road to a Million show sees that opportunity, buys that home, fixes up that home on their own schedule, resells that home through Daron Campbell, no doubt, and sells it for $100,000 more than they bought it for. Fireworks, Marlon. Boom, 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 boom. A brilliant idea. I just made you $100,000, ladies and gentlemen. Did you see it happen? Did you see me make you 100 grand just now? And what's the first D? Death. Sounds depressing to you. The word death is an exciting word to me. I'm sorry. It excites me when I hear this is sick, but I look at the obituaries. What? Daron, that's morbid. You're a sick man. No, I'm an entrepreneur. And when somebody dies, there's a good chance somebody's going to buy a house and make 100 grand. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. Somebody died and I made 100 grand. It's like an equation. Hey, Marlon, put up a graphic. Death equals 100 grand. I got Marlon and Nick getting ready to go check the obituaries today because every time somebody dies, somebody else makes 100 grand. Oh my God, what are you talking about? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's the first D. That's why death is exciting. That's why, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're back. And as my man Ronaldo says, we are on fire today. If you guys can't tell, I heat up. I got these fans blowing on me. Why? Because I am on fire. When I talk, when I get heated up, you guys pump me up. Talking about this stuff pumps me up. We have a lot of fun learning. This is like learning, but it's like fun. It's like how to have a good time becoming wealthy. Isn't that a beautiful thing? That's a great thing. Where are we at right now? We're in the Rollout Show studios. I'm Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, your real estate mentor. And we're all going to the top, and we're going together. That's the cool thing. I'm pulling back the curtain, and I'm showing you and teaching you and telling you the things they don't really want you to know. And because if everybody knew this, then nobody would be a slave to a job. Nobody would be going through an eviction. Nobody would be short on their money every month. Nobody would be struggling to survive. There wouldn't be homelessness. There wouldn't be ghettos. There wouldn't be areas that were blighted and boarded up. If everybody knew this, then there'd be a lot more prosperity in the world. There'd be fewer people who like own everything, while the few people, while very few other people own anything. There'd be a much greater ownership rate. Like right now in the state of California, the ownership rate is about 26%. That means only 26% of the people can afford to own their own home. Come on. That makes no sense whatsoever. Everybody should be able to own their own home. The fact is, I love rental property, but I love rental property as a stepping stool, as a step ladder for you. You should rent until you own. You should rent while you prepare to own. You shouldn't be condemned to be renting the rest of your life. But guess what? Some of them want you to forever be an employee, to forever be a renter, to forever just be a consumer and not a producer. And I'm going to blow that system up. I'm showing you behind the curtain. This is the stuff they don't want you to know. Today, on the Road to a Million show, we're talking about the 4 Ds. The 4 Ds are where you find the most motivated sellers who will sell you real estate at a discount. How do I want to buy my real estate? At a discount. How do I want to buy my car? At a discount. Why do you go to Costco? Because you want a discount, right? Everything you buy, you ought to be thinking about a discount. Well, real estate is no different. You should be buying real estate at a discount. Why is that important? Because when you buy real estate at a discount, you make money the day you buy the property. In our example, in our really big example that we just went through on the first D, which is death. In the death example, we just talked about how Auntie Kiki and the family inherited Grandma's house. Grandma's house all fixed up is worth $500,000, but Auntie Kiki and the gang sold it for $400,000 to get rid of it quickly so they could get some money so Auntie Kiki could go buy a car, and she'll be broke in 5 years. Don't worry. But you had the opportunity to buy that house for $400,000 and just slightly fixed up is worth $500,000. So you made $100,000. You took advantage of the opportunity and you made $100,000 on that opportunity. What about that? If you made $100,000 because you bought a discounted piece of property, you bought that discounted piece of property because somebody passed away, and you as a savvy investor, as a savvy buyer, you took advantage and you made $100,000. You heard the saying, somebody died, somebody made $100,000. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, that's what the Road to a Million show is all about. Go to roadtoamillionshow.com. Listen to us every Tuesday and Thursday, and you will get educated just like this. All right, my man Nick Cooper is calling me, and I'm going to tell you guys all about Nick. I'm going to have him on the show real soon. Hey, Nick, I can't talk to you right now. I'm doing the show. Thanks a lot. I'll call you later. Go to roadtoamillionshow.com and listen to the damn show, Nick. Bye. Anyway, that's Nick. That's my buddy Nick. Brilliant guy, but he's calling me in the middle of the show. We can't be doing that, Nick. All right, let's talk, ladies and gentlemen. What's the second D? Did Angie already tell you, or do you want me to tell you? Okay, the second D, here we go. Big reveal. Divorce. What? Divorce? Oh no, Daron, you just got all this bad news for me. First you're talking about everybody dies, and now you want to talk about divorce. Well, ladies and gentlemen, divorce is a sad but real reality in life, right? How many of you out there are divorced? Well, there's a whole lot of hands going up right now. Did you know that now more than 50%, it's like 52% of all marriages end in divorce? Well, now that's a sad state of affairs. Don't say the word affairs, Daron. Oh yeah, shh. Listen, unfortunately, I know that divorce is a big reality. You know divorce is a big reality. How many of you are affected by divorce in one way or another in your life? Parents, personal, brother, come on, how many divorced people do you know? Well, the fact of the matter is 52% of all marriages end in divorce. What happens when people get divorced? They got to divide the assets. What happens in about 35% of the asset division parts of the divorce? They sell the house. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What just happened? They sell the house. Why do they sell the house? Because they got to split the assets in half, and somebody doesn't want to write the other person a check for half the money. So what happens? They sell the house. They come to Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate. They say, Daron, we're getting a divorce. Our attorney says we got to sell the house. They say we can choose the real estate agent. We choose you. Everybody should. And we need you to sell the house. I go, okay, well, you've been in the house for 12 years. And the house needs some cleaning up, some fixing up, because when you threw that trophy at him, the trophy dented the wall. And when he swung that baseball bat at your head, he broke the window because he missed your head. He broke those windows. We got to fix those windows. And then, you know, when you guys were shooting at each other, you put those bullet holes over there in the wall. So we should probably fix all that stuff up before we sell it. And that'll probably be $20,000 or $30,000 to get it all fixed up. And they go, no, just sell it fast. Uh-oh. I'm listening. That's music to my ears. When they say, just sell it fast, I go, cha-ching. Somebody got divorced and somebody got paid. Let me tell you how. Here's what happens. They say, sell it fast, sell it quickly. We don't have the cash. We don't want to put any more cash in it. I don't want to fix that house up. We're not going to each write a check to fix that thing up. I don't care. Just sell it fast. In many cases, they don't give a crap. Just get us out quick. I don't want to cooperate. I don't want to collaborate. Let's not talk about it together. Just sell it fast. And then the music starts playing. Marlon plays the cha-ching music. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. We're going to sell it fast. So, again, sell it fast means we're motivated, Daron. First good buyer that comes to the table, sell it. So, divorced couple at war has a house that all fixed up is worth $950,000. $950 all fixed up. You say, what? Okay. But I say, but you guys need to spend this money to fix it up. Otherwise, we're only going to be able to sell it for like $8 and a quarter, because a buyer who sees all those bullet holes from when you guys were shooting at each other, they're not going to pay $950. They're going to want it fixed up. And, you know, I won't even get into all the damage you guys caused, because like, when she threw all the plates at you, then she scratched the walls. You know, when you try to hit her with that hammer, you broke the granite in the kitchen on the counter, so you got to fix the counter. Anyway, long story short, you don't want to do the work. We better put it out there for about $800,000 so that a buyer who has the ability to fix things up will come and he'll close it, and you guys can move on quickly and get on with the divorce and the division of the assets. Now, I tell you guys these stories because this stuff really happened. These are real conversations. I don't mention names to try to protect the guilty, but the fact is, this stuff really happened. These are the names have been changed to protect the innocent because the fact is, for 27 years, I've been seeing these things happen. So the house was worth $950. We agree, because they hate each other now, that we're going to sell the house for $800,000. Put it on the market for $800,000, Daron, because we want it to be sold fast, and we want you to sell it by next week. We want you to sell it after the first open house. Okay. And then, like, they can't see Marlon, but he's standing in the background doing the money dance. Let's go. And so we know that an opportunity is about to happen. Somebody got divorced. Somebody about to get paid. Here's how that works. They say, Daron, put the house on the market, sell it fast. I put the house on the market. I do an open house. I say, divorce sale, property being sold as is, $800,000. I do an open house on the first Sunday after we list the property. The world goes crazy. 3, 4, 5 buyers come. The next day, I get an all-cash offer for $775,000. I get a couple of financed offers with $800,000. Somebody even went over the asking price, $805,000. I take all the offers. The next day, I sit down with Mr. Angry and Miss Pissed Off, and we sit down at the table, and I lay all the offers out on the table, and I say $805,000, 30-day close, $800,000, 60-day close with financing, both with financing. And then I say $775,000 all cash close next week. Mr. Angry and Miss Pissed Off say, take the $775,000 close next week. They say, you mean we'll have our money in a week? I said, you'll have your money in about 10 days. They say, damn it, Let's sign that one right there. And guess what just happened? Somebody got divorced and somebody else got paid because the all-cash buyer got that property for $775,000. And do you remember what it was worth, Angie? Do you remember at the beginning of the story I told you what the house was worth all cleaned up? $950,000. How much money did they make? Somebody do the quick math. Do the quick math. That sounds like $175,000 in profit to me. Did somebody just make 175 grand, Marlon? I think so. The buyer just made 175 grand. Now, wait, tribe. We got a secret for them, don't we? If you think, Daron, you just why are you telling me this stuff? I don't have $775,000 in cash. I got a secret for you. The buyer didn't either. What? The buyer didn't have the money. The buyer didn't have his own money. He didn't need it. He was buying a $950,000 house for $775,000. So what do you think he did? He went to his private money lender, told him the situation. Private money lender said, I'll loan you that money today. And they negotiated an interest rate and some points. And the guy said, I'll give you that money right now. And then savvy investor, all cash, who didn't really have all the cash, said, okay, that's good. I got that in my back pocket. I know the private money lender will give me the money. But then investors thought, wait a minute. I got some friends who got some money. Let's call up some buddies. He has a little cocktail party at his house that night and invites like 6 friends who he knows have a few dollars in their pocket and say, hey team, hey tribe, I got an opportunity to buy this house. It's worth 950 grand all fixed up. If we pool our money together and we buy it, maybe we could all buy it, clean it up, and split the profit. Anybody interested? He had 6 friends over. You know how many people raised their hands? 6. All 6 of them were like, I'm in. I got 100 grand. Somebody said, I got 200 grand. Somebody said, I got $500,000 in my IRA. They yanked the money out. They bought it for cash. They didn't have to pay the lender. They teamed up. They syndicated that property. Save that word for later, ladies and gentlemen, syndication. And they bought the property together. They cleaned up the property with about $22,000. And they resold the property for $960,000. Let's see, $775, $22,000 to fix it up. That's $797,000. They sold it for $960,000. Do the math, ladies and gentlemen. Do the math. They made, how much did they make, Marlon? Marlon's gonna figure out the math for me real quick. Angie, you're quick on the calculator too. Let's figure out how much money they made. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying they paid $797,000 all in. And then they resold the house for $950,000. Hello, people, are you listening to me? I think if I'm doing the baby math, it sounds like $153,000 to me. But Marlon's gonna do the math and tell us. He's a little slow on the calculator. He's got the flu. Marlon's like fighting the flu, so he's a little slow on the calculator there. But, 160. Well, what about the 3,000? They paid $797. Oh my God. Okay, $797. Sold it for $960 and $163,000. Am I right, Marlon? Don't let Marlon be your accountant, ladies and gentlemen. He is slow on the trigger. All right. Let's get serious. They made $163,000, ladies and gentlemen. They pooled their money. They bought the property. They cleaned up the property with this much money, and they made $163,000 profit. What would you do with your share of $163,000 profit? Did I also tell you that even if you didn't have the friends who had the cash, the private money lender would have given him the money? Did I tell you that? Did I just show you how a divorce just turned into $163,000 profit for somebody? Is the second D is the second D a good thing? Is divorce a good thing? You know what somebody said to me once? He said, you know why divorce is so expensive? I said, why? He said, because it's worth it. Hey, I'm not saying divorce anybody, but I'm just saying somebody got divorced, somebody got paid, right? What happened in the first D? Somebody died, somebody made 100 grand, right? The same thing just happened in a divorce. Somebody got divorced, created an opportunity, and the savvy investors took advantage. Who are the savvy investors? It ought to be you. Who are the savvy investors? It should be us. Who have the savvy investors been for years and years and years? People behind the curtain. People that didn't want you to know this information. You see, if you thought that buying your house and buying your investment property meant going on Realtor, going on Zillow or Trulia, or driving around and looking at the sign and paying retail for a piece of real estate, I'm here to change your thinking. I'm here to turn you around. Don't pay retail for your real estate. Don't pay retail. Hashtag don't pay retail. We're going to use the 4 Ds to buy real estate at a discount. And I'm not yelling at you. I'm just teaching. The 4 Ds are where you find discounted real estate. It's like the Costco of real estate. I mean, is Costco really that discounted these days? But anyway, the point is, it's like the swap meet. There you go. The swap meet of real estate is using the 4 Ds. You use the 4 Ds, you buy real estate at a discount. You make money when you buy. You make money when you buy in real estate. Do you understand? You make money when you buy. Write that down. The first D is death. Somebody died, somebody made 100 grand. The second D is divorce. Somebody got divorced, somebody got paid. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the first 2 Ds. We got 2 more coming. We got 2 more Ds coming. Daron, how'd you find all these Ds? Ladies and gentlemen, I've been behind the curtain. I know what they don't want you to know. I know how they make a whole bunch of money buying discounted real estate. I'm here to pull back the curtain and show you how it's done. This is the Road to a Million show. This is Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate. I am your real estate mentor. We're all going to the top together because I'm peeking behind the curtain. I'm letting you see behind the curtain. We're going to take a short break, and I'm going to come back with the 3rd D. Angie, don't be telling everybody what the 3rd D is before I announce it. We'll be back in a minute. RoadToAMillionShow.com. Hey, 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 we are back on the Road to a Million show at roadtoamillionshow.com. We are in Rollout Show Studios. We are on Daron Campbell Coaching, Facebook Live. My tribe is over there watching me. So this is roadtoamillionshow.com. You should tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. roadtoamillionshow.com. We just blew through the first hour. How did that hour go by so fast? I mean, now I can see why Speedy and Nick do like a 4-hour show, because the time flies. I'm having so much fun. I could do this all day. Anyway, look, this is Road to a Million. This is the Road to a Million show at roadtoamillionshow.com. I'm Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, your real estate mentor. And you and me and my whole tribe, we're all going to the top together. So when I end the show and I say, hey, I'm Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, I'm your real estate mentor, and I'll see you. You're supposed to chime in at the end and go, at the top. That's how we finish it. So when I do my seminars and my shows and I'm on stage yapping at people and ranting and yelling at folks, we end the show like that. I'm Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, your real estate mentor, and I'll see you at the top. That's our kind of our motto. Today, we're talking about the 4 Ds. The 4 Ds. What are the 4 Ds, Daron? These are the 4 best places to find discounted real estate. Discounted real estate. What a concept. You mean to tell me you can buy real estate for cheaper than it's worth? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you absolutely can, and you absolutely should. Every piece of real estate you buy should be bought at a discount. Why? Because you make money the very day you buy it. If I buy something that's worth $100,000, but I buy it for $70,000, what did I just do really? What really just happened? Did I spend $70,000 or did I just make $30,000? You see, it's just a matter of how you look at it. Is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? If I buy something for $100,000 that's worth $100,000 and I pay $70,000 for it, what did I just really do? I just made $30,000. Well, there's a way you can buy discounted real estate. And you buy that discounted real estate by finding people in, what's the word? Situations. I always tell people, I don't buy real estate, I buy situations. I don't buy real estate, I buy situations. I'm teaching you where the situations happen. That's the 4 Ds. It's the 4 Ds. It's a secret. It's a well-hidden secret. It's behind the curtain that they don't want you to know about. What are you talking about, Dan? You mean there's like a conspiracy going on? There's like an Illuminati behind the curtain? Well, kinda. Is anybody teaching you this in school? I didn't think so. Did anybody when you got to high school or college say, hey, listen, the real key to the game is own some income producing property? Did anybody say that to you? Nobody said it to me. I had to figure it out. It took me 27 years of hard work and bumping my head to figure out the system, the key to the kingdom. I got behind the curtain. They shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have let a brother behind the curtain, because now I'm going to pull the curtain back and I'm going to show the people. That's you guys. I'm going to show the people. All right, today we're talking about where do you find the most motivated sellers who are the most prone to sell you a piece of real estate at a discount. The first D, what was it, Angie? Death. The second D, what was it, Angie? Divorce. What's the third D, Daron? What's the third D? I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. Tell me, what's the third D? Ladies and gentlemen, the third D is distress. Oh boy, distress. Daron, you're trying to depress me today. You're talking about death. You're talking about divorce. Now you're talking about distress. When I think of distress, I think of somebody, that's crying. It's like they're freaking out. That's what distress is, isn't it? No, ladies and gentlemen, distress is an opportunity to get paid. What? What are you talking about, Darren? Why are you using all this negative stuff to talk about how to get paid? Because that's exactly how to get paid. Distress is a situation, ladies and gentlemen. Distress. When you hear the word distress, you ought to celebrate. When you hear there's a distressed piece of real estate on my street, you ought to throw a freaking party. Why? Why? Because it's an opportunity. Somebody about to get paid. That's going on the back of a t-shirt real soon. A Road to a Million t-shirt is going to have on the back of it, somebody about to get paid. The 4 D's are how you get paid. The third D is distress, ladies and gentlemen. Distress. Okay, let's define distress. A distressed piece of property is a piece of property where the owner is in some sort of financial turmoil. What is that, Daron? Tell me more. Tell me more. I'm listening. I'm on the edge of my seat. I can't even take a sip of coffee because I got this pen and I'm taking notes and I'm writing it down. Tell me about this distress, please. Distress, ladies and gentlemen, is foreclosure. Distress, ladies and gentlemen, is bankruptcy. Distress, ladies and gentlemen, is somebody who's having a difficult time maintaining the ownership of their property. What happens when there's a property in distress? A couple of things. Somebody's not making their payments. Somebody's in financial trouble. Somebody is about to stop making their payments. Somebody already stopped making their payments. Somebody is about to have a financial crisis causing them to default or get near default with their loan payments, with their mortgage. So what happens then? Okay, let's talk about all the different things that happen then. Now, wait a minute. First of all, Darren, back up. Why would somebody that's got a house, that's got some value in the house, why would they ever get in trouble? Well, let me ask you. Does anybody ever lose their job? Happens all the time. During the last recession, do you know 8 million people lost their jobs and 4 million people went into foreclosure. What's foreclosure, ladies and gentlemen? It's distress. Distress is foreclosure. Distress then is, hey, did anybody ever file bankruptcy before? Has there ever been any bankruptcies out there? Let me tell you right now, the bankruptcy court right down the street here is inundated, loaded with what? Bankruptcy proceedings. I have a relative who works at the court, and they have so many bankruptcy files that they're taking 6 months just to process them. Do you understand? Now, what happens when somebody's in bankruptcy? Many times, those bankruptcies call for what? Liquidation of the assets. What does that mean, Darren? That means they got to sell their house. What? What does liquidation of the assets mean? It means they got to sell the property. They got to sell the property. They got to sell it now. They got to sell the property. They got to sell it rapidly. They got to sell the property. And many times, they got to sell it at a discount. All right, somebody's got a call because I hope it's not like the cops or the bankruptcy court because I'm giving away the secrets. Put them through, Nick. Put them through. Hey, caller, who am I talking to?
Yo, what's going on, brother? This is Jay Nasty from St. Louis.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Brother, you are speaking on some real powerful and motivated shit right now.
Thank you.
All right, look. My wife is a mortgage loan officer.
Okay.
And I really want to get her more motivated. She's right now studying for her real estate license.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get her motivated. I've already paid for the classes and everything like that. Like right now, I don't have my real estate license, but I flipped a couple of homes. I don't know if you remember back in Houston, they had this hurricane that came through.
Oh yeah.
And I bought a whole subdivision and remodeled and rebuilt everything.
Wow.
So, and I flipped all the homes.
Good man.
So, like with her, now me personally, like she really wanted me to do the whole Section 8 thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Well, let me tell you, Brother Jay from St. Louis, I think that Section 8 can actually be a brilliant opportunity for a landlord. And a lot of, here's a secret, and we're going to get into this in future episodes. I'm going to tell you about rental property and who the best tenants are and how to fill your property and how to never have a vacancy and how to never miss a rent payment. Section 8 is a great thing. You want to know why? Let me tell you why. Section 8 is, and for those of you who don't know, Section 8 is subsidized housing. It means the government, some section of the government is going to help that tenant pay the rent. Well, Brother Jay from St. Louis, Section 8 is a great thing because, number one,
can we say dedicated money?
well, there you go. Dedicated, and wait a minute, another word, guaranteed money. Guaranteed money. Right. Section 8 pays the rent, and they pay it early. Section 8 pays the market rent. So if the rent is supposed to be $800 and the current tenant on Section 8 is paying $700, you can write a letter to Section 8, show them a rent survey, and they'll raise that rent to $800. So not only do they pay early, on time if not early, they pay the market rent, which means you get every dollar that your property is worth. And here's the big one, and this is what people don't know. Section 8 doesn't say, hey, you take Section 8 people, you have to take this baby mama with 19 kids and no job, and they're going to tear up your place. You don't have to take those tenants. Section 8 lets you choose, interview, review the application of the tenant before you accept them. A lot of people don't know that, Jay. A lot of people think if I take Section 8, then they're going to tell me I got to take Bebe and all her kids. And the fact is, you don't have to.
So this the thing, though. Okay, one of my properties that I used to actually stay in myself, when I figured that I was going to work for Sirius Satellite Radio and I'll be traveling to New York and stuff like that or whatever, I decided to go ahead and rent my home out. I did Section 8. And when I say, and she didn't have 19 kids, but she did have a couple of kids. She had a baby father who came in there as well, which they was headbutting, they headbutting each other and all that other good stuff. And they actually destroyed holes in my sheetrock and all that other good stuff. Security deposit was only $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of damage that they did was well over $4,500.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about kicking doors through to where the door frame is cracked. I had to come in and put a new frame in on both doors. Like, come on. So is it okay, I understand the guaranteed money.
Yeah.
But what do you think about, like, is that something that homeowners and people that's looking to not flip properties, but looking at investing in properties should actually invest in? Because, yeah, it's guaranteed money, but at what risk? At the same token, what's going to happen?
Listen, Brother Jay from St. Louis, there's hazards to the game, just like any game. Yes. There are pros and there are cons, and some of the cons in this game is that there's some tenants out there that are flat out crappy. They suck. What you got to do is you got to get real intense about your screening system. You got to check references. You got to look. I want to know the last 3 places you lived, and I want to talk to that landlord. I want to know that you left that place intact, that he didn't have to take your security deposit and apply it. I want to know that you didn't get evicted. I'm screening. Listen, you could filter out 90% of that nonsense with the intensity with which you screen those tenants. Now, listen, Brother Jay, you call me back in about 30 minutes because I'm going to take questions in 30 minutes. I got to get through these 4 Ds right now, but I appreciate you, man.
I apologize.
No. You good.
I'll call you back because I got some more questions to ask, because on the simple fact, I did do screening.
Yeah. And
the screening actually didn't work out. I mean, the references, I always ask for 5 references. And I've done that, and it's just, brother, I don't want to hold up your show and your segment. So I'm gonna call back in about 30 minutes.
Hit me back, and I'm gonna teach you some tactics. I'm gonna teach you some tactics to lower the probability of the losses. I appreciate you listening, and we're gonna get through these topics. Hit me back. I'll be talking to you. I'll take all the calls in about 20 minutes. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's keep rolling with the distress. We are on the 3rd D. This is the big reveal today, ladies and gentlemen. You're learning about the 4 Ds. Where are you learning about these 4 Ds at? Learning about them on the road to a million show.com, road to a million show.com. I'm Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate. I'm your real estate mentor, and we're all going to the top together. Why? Because we're learning about how to buy discounted real estate. I'm pulling back the curtain. I'm showing you behind the curtain the things that they don't necessarily want you to know. Why? Because they want you to rent for your whole life. Why? They don't want you to become prosperous. Why? Because if you become prosperous, if we all become prosperous, who's going to pay rent to them? Who's going to punch their clock and work their job? Who's going to keep you in the struggle mode? I'm trying to help us get out of the struggle mode. I'm trying to help you, the everyday guy. I'm just a regular guy. I'm trying to help you, the everyday guy and girl, overcome the system, learn a little bit about how the game is played, and let's go play it. Because we ain't going to beat them. So if you can't beat them, learn the game. If you can't beat them, learn the game, and let's play the game. Let's win the game. Don't get mad, get paid. Woo-hoo, I like that one. Don't get mad, get paid. That's the solution to almost everything. You know what they say, money won't buy you happiness. But you know what Daron says? Yeah, but it's a hell of a down payment. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the third D. The third D is distress. Distress is when somebody gets in trouble, when somebody can't make their payment, when somebody's about to lose the house. Does this happen? Ladies and gentlemen, it happens every day. During the last recession, and that's between 2007 and 2010, 4 million people lost their homes. 4 million people lost their homes to foreclosure. Now, that's the bad part. That's the bad headline. That's what you saw on the news. That's what you saw on the news. What's the headline on CNN in 2008? What was the headline on Fox News in 2008? What was the headline on World News Tonight? I could show you all these headlines. Record foreclosures. Oh my God, people are losing their houses. Oh my God, the banks are failing. Oh my God. You know what was going on secretly? Do you know what was going on secretly behind the curtain? 4 million foreclosures were bought. Wait, put on your seatbelt, put on your big girl panties. Guess what happened? 4 million homes got sold at an average of 62 cents on the dollar. Wait a minute, Daron. What are you talking about, man? 4 million homes got purchased at an average of 62 cents on the dollar. So while CNN and the Wall Street Journal and Fox News were distracting you with the world is on fire, everyone's losing their home, we're going to hell in a handbasket, guess what the rich people were doing behind the curtain? Guess what they were doing behind the curtain? They were buying those houses at 62 cents on the dollar. Do you hear me? Is anybody listening? Tribe, share this with all your people. Because if they don't understand this, they'll never know. I'm showing you behind the curtain. The news and the news flashes and all the headlines say, oh my God, we're in a recession. We're in a recession. Everybody's about to lose everything. And guess what was happening behind the curtain? The rich folks were buying properties at 62 cents on the dollar, and they were getting infinitely richer. You know what the last recession was? Here's what I'm going to tell you. Strap in. It was the largest transference of wealth in the history of planet Earth. Do you hear me? Does anybody understand what I'm saying? Something like $4 trillion changed hands during the last recession. Wait a minute. Hold on. I got to drink some water because I'm getting all choked up. Did you just hear what I said? Now, while you were watching the news, while you were eating popcorn on your couch, while you were calling up your friends going, girl, this is a recession. This recession is killing me. Somebody was buying a house next door to you. Marlon's cracking up. Marlon is choking and coughing over there because I got him laughing. Somebody on your street was losing their house, and some wealthy person, or somebody who's about to be wealthy, bought that house for 62 cents on the dollar. Now, if you don't understand what 62 cents on the dollar is, then we really got to go to a little deeper level of education. But the fact is, Recession, recession, recession. Everybody's panicking. Run for the hills. We're going to hell. And the rich folks are like, okay, everybody, get out your checkbooks. Let's go drive in the streets. Let's go find some distress. They went out and bought properties at an average of 62 cents on the dollar. What were you doing during the last recession? Were you watching Seinfeld? What were you watching? I don't even remember what was on TV in 07, 08, and 09. What I do know is some folks picked up $4 trillion in discounted stuff. Discounted stuff. It wasn't just real estate. It was companies. It was banks. It was businesses. It was bulk sales of cars and trucks and planes and automobiles. I got a good buddy who says, don't ever waste a good recession. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a shift happening right now in the marketplace. There's a shift that is coming our way. There's a storm that's coming our way. Now, when the storm comes, some people run in the house, go into the basement, and stick their head under a couch. And then there are some people that run outside and say, here comes the storm. Wet me up, baby. Guess what? Guess who made all the money during the storm? The people who ran outside and say, hey, it's a storm. Opportunity is about to knock. And they went and picked up $4 trillion in discounted stuff. Now, if Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, is telling you that there's a shift coming, that there's a storm brewing out there in the ocean and it's coming your way, and if I'm telling you there's an opportunity for you to take part in the next transference of wealth, didn't I just tell you it was the largest transference of wealth? What does that mean? That means a whole lot of people's money, $4 trillion of it, left their hands and went into the hands of some other people. Now, which side of the transfer were you on? That's what I want to know. And what side of the transfer are you going to be on during the next one? Distress is people who get in trouble with their property. They can't pay the mortgage. They have to file bankruptcy. They lost their job. Hey, I'm sorry, but it happens, you guys. And if you can't be an adult, if you can't put on your big boy pants and realize that trouble creates situations, and those situations are where wealth is made. Do you understand? Trouble, situations are where wealth is created. Your greatest opportunity to create wealth is where the next troubled situation shows up. Do you get it? Do you get it? Somebody on your street got foreclosed on in 2007, 2008, 2009. I guarantee you, somebody on your block got foreclosed on. 1,000%, I guarantee it. And guess what somebody else did? Somebody bought that property for 62 cents on the dollar. And guess what that property is worth today? Probably, if you do the math, it's probably worth 130 cents on the dollar. So if I bought it for 62 cents and it's worth 130 cents, then I doubled my money. I doubled my investment. Anyway, do the math, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's see. If I'll give you a situation. Let's see. Let me think of it. We did a whole ton of these deals, but if you bought something, let's see, what's a distress situation that I dealt with? Oh, okay. I got a story for you. Okay, I listed a foreclosed property in 2007. 2007 might have been early 2008. Santa Monica, California, highly desirable. Okay, foreclosure. The guy was losing the house. His business was going into the toilet, and he couldn't afford the house anymore. This is a house in a prime area of Santa Monica, California. This is a property that at that time would have been worth about $1.6 million, all cleaned up, all fixed up in a normal situation. 1.6 million bucks, right? Right. This gentleman I'm thinking about had $1 million mortgage. He had $1 million loan on the property. The property is worth 1.6 million. Okay? Stay with me. Stay with me. Marlon is slow on the calculator, but he and Angie, between the two of them, they'll keep the math for us. The guy owes $1 million. It's a $1.6 million property in Santa Monica, California. Everybody wants to live in Santa Monica, by the way. So the guy's business goes in the crapper. He's going into foreclosure. He doesn't know what to do. Because I'm Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, I find this gentleman and say, hey, Mr. Foreclosure, why don't we sell your property? He goes, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. My business is in trouble. I'm going to lose my house. I go, wait, you haven't lost your house yet. Why don't you let me find you a buyer who will pay you, who will maybe catch up the mortgage payments, and he'll keep you from going into bankruptcy. He goes, you could do that? I go, of course I can do that. He goes, the bank said they're going to take my house back in 17 days. Can you still do that? I go, I can do that. He goes, how can you do that? I said, do you know who you're talking to, mister? I'm Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate. Let me do that. So he lists the property with me. He only listed it with me for 17 days. Why? Because the bank was going to take the house back in 17 days. I got 17 days to sell this house in Santa Monica. He owes $1 million. He's behind 5 payments, and he's about to lose the house. What happens? Daron C. Campbell lists the property. I get out there and I call some people. And I talk to a guy who says, wait a minute, what? This guy owes $1 million. He's behind 5 payments. Daron, what's the house worth on the open market? I said, it's worth about $1.6 million. He goes, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go there. We're going to buy the property. I'm going to offer this guy $1.2 million. You think he'll take it? I go, well, let's talk about the terms. How are we going to clean him up? How are we going to help him out? Here's what I'm going to do. Daron, I'm going to take over his loan. He's going to agree to sell me the house. I'm going to give him $200,000, and I'm going to take over that $1 million loan. I'm going to buy that Santa Monica house for $1.2 million. Daron, you think you could convince him of that? I go, I'm Daron C. Campbell. I'm the hardest working man in real estate. I'm going to take it to him. Let's go. I write up the offer, $1.2 million. I go, hey, Mr. Foreclosure, I got a buyer for you. He's got $200,000 in cash. He'll buy your house. He'll close it in 5 days. You walk away with $200,000. He's going to take over your loan. He's going to catch up the payments, and he'll buy the house, but you'll have $200,000, and that's what he can do. And guess what he says? Where do I sign? Wait, what? What just happened? Somebody went into foreclosure and somebody said, hey, I got a creative solution to that. Why don't I give him $200,000 in cash, and why don't I take over his loan? What did he say? Man, I got 15 days left before I lose this house. Give me the money. We signed. We agreed. 5 days later, we closed the deal. Mr. Investor Buyer bought a $1.6 million house for $1.2 million. He only needed $200,000 in cash. Why did he only need $200,000 in cash, Marlon? Because he took over the gentleman's loan for $1 million. Wait a minute, Daron, do you mean to tell me that guy made $400,000 in profit the day he bought it? Ladies and gentlemen, he made $400,000 the day he closed escrow. What did he do for the other guy? He solved that guy's foreclosure problem. That guy had no money. He was behind 5 payments. He agreed to a price that was what? $400,000 lower than the property was worth. Did Mr. Investor just make $400,000? Did he just spend $1.2 million, or did he just make $400,000? You tell me. Was the glass half empty, or was that glass half full with $400,000 in it? Ladies and gentlemen, that's how the game is played. I just showed you behind the curtain and told you about distressed real estate. Distress is foreclosure. Distress creates opportunity. Distress is a reason to celebrate, ladies and gentlemen. I call Marlon up at 4 a.m. Marlon wakes up with, hello. I go, Marlon, somebody just got foreclosed on. Marlon jumps out of his bed and he does the money dance, the happy dance. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there is opportunity in distress. The 4Ds, we're talking about the 4Ds. This is the Road to $1 Million show. Am I showing you the Road to $1 Million? Has anybody shown you this many millions? I'm showing you the Road to $1 Million. I'm shining a bright light on the Road to $1 Million. That gentleman made $400,000 the day he bought the property. Now, Daron, what's the punchline? Let me tell you the punchline to the story. The story gets way better. Let me tell you how the story ends. The gentleman who made the $400,000 didn't sell the property. You know what he did? He held on to the property. How long did he hold on to the property? He just sold the property last year. I got a secret for you. He sold the property last year. What's the burning question? Nick wants to ask me the question. I know what the question is. How much did he sell it for, Daron? Okay, are you ready? You got your big boy pants on? You ready? Put your coffee cup down because you're going to drop it. I sold that property last year, ladies and gentlemen, for $3.2 million. What? Wait a minute. What? The guy bought the property that was worth 1.6. He bought it for 1.2, and you sold it just last year, 10 years later, for $3.2 million. Oh, wait a minute. He didn't make 400 grand. He made $2 million. He made $2 million on a $200,000 investment. Do the math, ladies and gentlemen. Do the math. Do you think the road to $1 million is real, or do you think it's fake? You think this is fake news, or you think this is a way for you to become absolutely, positively free, self-sufficient, financially free? That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the 4 Ds. I'm Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate. We're talking about the 4 Ds. That's where you buy situations that create motivated sellers. That's where fortunes are made. $4 trillion got transferred to other people's hands in the last recession. And ladies and gentlemen, there's another recession coming. What are you going to do? We're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to come back with the 4th D and to continue to blow your mind. This is the Road to $1 Million show. I'm yelling at you today. I'm Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate. See you in a few.
Dylan got it bumping. Dylan got it bumping. Dylan got it bumping.
Okay, we are back. I'm just joking with Marlon because he's fighting the flu. I said, man, come on, bro. I'm Superman. I don't get sick. This is Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, your real estate mentor, and we're all going to the top together. Why? How are we doing it? We're doing it by learning some secrets. We're peeking behind the curtain, And I'm telling you some things that they don't necessarily want you to know. They want you to remain a consumer and not a producer. They want you to remain a tenant and not a landlord. They want you to pay retail and not discount. And I'm blowing that whole thing up. And the fact of the matter is, there's a better way. There's a better way. And real estate is our vehicle. And I'm here to show you how to buy real estate at a discount. What are we talking about today? We're talking about the 4Ds. The 4Ds? Darren, what is this 4Ds stuff? I just got on the show. I'm late. Tell me about the 4Ds. Well, my buddy Angie revealed all the 4Ds at the beginning of the show before I even said anything, but we've already been through 3 of them, and I'm going to tell you what they are. The first D was death. You get a lot of discounted opportunities by buying properties where people have passed away and they left the property to somebody who doesn't want the property. Great opportunity to buy that property at a discount. Divorce. Oh, the infamous divorce. Divorce happens to 52% of all the marriages that exist, and they usually, many times, have to liquidate the assets in order to facilitate the divorce. They split the money, they sell the asset, and guess what they do a lot of times? More than half the time, they sell that property for less than it would retail for. And the third D so far is distress. Distress. That's foreclosures. That's bankruptcies. That's people who lost their jobs. That's people who are in trouble with the mortgage. That's people who bought houses that were more expensive than they could afford, and then something changed and they figured out, I can't afford this house. And that's people whose eyes are bigger than their checkbook, and they bought houses that were more than they could afford in the first place, and they didn't do the math properly, and they had to sell the property in like a fire sale. And then the final part of that distress is, once a bank has taken the property back and foreclosed on that property, the bank wants to unload that property at a discount. So that's why distress is such a great opportunity. Now we're getting into the 4th D. The 4th D. Darren, what's this 4th D? There can't be anything else. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The 4th D is something very few people know about. It's called the dissolution. Uh-oh, there I go with those big words again. The dissolution of partnerships. What you talking about, Darren? What is the dissolution of partnership? The dissolution of partnerships is when partnerships have to dissolve. It's like a divorce for businesses. Now, wait a minute. What do you mean? How does that work? Here's how it works. There are partnerships, there are companies, there are corporations, there are LLCs, there are trusts, there are family offices, there are all of these different business entities that get together and buy real estate, and they have a predetermined, what they call sunset, which is the day on which that partnership must dissolve. That's the dissolution of partnerships. Now, let me give you an example. If somebody formed a partnership 7 years ago, and in their operating agreement, in their partnership agreement, they said this partnership will exist for 7 years only. And at the end of 7 years, we're going to sell the real estate and distribute the money, profits, whatever. All the money gets chopped up at the end of 7 years. Now, many times they were collecting rent and they were distributing the money along the way. But at the end of the 7th year, check this out. At the end of the 7th year, the operating agreement mandates that they sell the property, no matter what. Good market, bad market, high market, low market, in between market, they have to sell the real estate. What happens when you have to sell the real estate? Same with death, divorce, and distress. Those are people who have to sell the real estate. They don't just want to sell the real estate. In many cases, to accomplish what they need to accomplish, they have to sell the real estate. Well, in the 4th D, the same thing applies, maybe even with more urgency sometimes. The operating agreement says in the 7th year, that property must be sold. And so that partnership calls up Daron C. Campbell, the hardest working man in real estate, and they say, Daron, our partnership is ready to dissolve. Now, many times I already knew this because I sold them the property and I read their operating agreement. So I call them up. They call me up, whichever, and I say, hey, guys, it's time. They say, you're right, it's time. We put that property on the market. They say, hey, look, we need to get it sold in the next 30 to 60 days. So put it out there at a really, really good price, because we made a lot of money because the market went way up. We paid $1 million for that property, and we think it's worth, a lot more. How much do you think it's worth, Darren? I say, well, it's worth probably about $2 million now. And they say, well, how much is it worth in a fast sale? I go, well, if you want to sell it really, really fast, and you want an aggressive buyer to buy it, then let's price it at 1.9 and let's see what happens. I'm telling you about a real situation, so let's follow closely. All of this is based on real scenarios that actually happened. Okay, the property in question was a small apartment building. They paid $1 million for it. We've been in an incredible rising market for the last 10 years. They bought the property 7 years ago. They called Daron Campbell up. They say, Daron, sell it, put it on the market. We put it on the market. They said, for a fast sale, tell us what we need to price it at. I price it at $1.9 million. They are looking at a huge profit, right? Right. So I put it on the market at $1.9 million. I market the property to people that I know are interested in that type of property. I get 2 offers within the first week. The first offer is $1.85, $1,850,000. They need 60 days to get a loan, and they'll close it shortly thereafter. 60-day deal. I get another offer number 2. You start listening to the moral of these stories on these offers. Offer number 2 is $1.7 million, all cash. Who wants to pay all cash? $1.7 million? Another partnership. It's a bunch of guys that have been buying property. They got a couple $1 million in profits that they've realized. They are in what we call a 1031 tax deferred exchange. And so they say, Darren, we'll buy that property and we'll pay them $1.7 million cash. And we really need to buy it, and we only got 10 days left. We'll buy it, we'll pay cash, and we'll close it in a week. I took both offers to the original partnership. Which one do you think they took? They took the $1.7 million all cash, close in a week. I had a motivated buyer, but I had an even more motivated seller. They said, give us the money, let's go. Didn't we just talk about a couple of minutes ago that the property is worth $2 million? Didn't I just tell you that the motivated buyer who's in a 1031 exchange just offered $1.7 million cash? The seller accepted the lower offer because it was cash, because it was a fast close. They bought the property. We closed it in a week. $1.7 million. The property's worth $2 million. How much money did the new partnership just make? You with the quick calculators. $300,000. The day they closed escrow, they made that money, because the property was worth $2 million and they paid $1.7 million. They made that money on day one. Do you hear me? When was the last time you made $300,000 in a day? My man Speedy makes that kind of money, but not the rest of us. Come on. $300,000 in a day? When was the last time you made that kind of money in a day? Ladies and gentlemen, you make your money when you buy. You buy situations. When you buy situations, you use the 4 Ds and you find the most motivated sellers on planet Earth. And that's how you find financial freedom. That's the road to $1 million on steroids, ladies and gentlemen. If I can show you how to make $300,000 in a day. What do you think the road to $1 million looks like for you now? Ladies and gentlemen, the dissolution of partnerships is the 4th D, and I just dropped gold in your lap. The 4 Ds, ladies and gentlemen, it's golden. It's golden. I just showed you behind the curtain. No, there's not naked people running around behind the curtain. There's money behind that curtain, and they don't want you to know. They, quote unquote, they don't want you to know. I just told you about the 4 Ds. I just revealed to you a wealth building secret that they don't want you to know. How about that? How about that for today's lesson? Was this good stuff? Was this good stuff? It looks like I got time for one more call. I'm going to take this call and let's see what we got. Here we go. Caller, who am I talking to?
Angie.
Angie. Is this Angie, queen of the tribe?
Yes.
What's up, Angie? Everybody, this is Angie. This girl, she everywhere DC goes, Angie shows. What's up, girl?
Shy. Well, first, let me say congratulations and thank you to Rollout for providing you with this platform. It's wonderful. I
Thank
love
you
it.
so much. And then yeah, they're real good to me around here.
Yes. Okay. So actually, I have two questions,
Okay.
and I was trying to be Jay Nasty because I know he's supposed to call back. Uh,
Yeah, and that brother can talk.
yeah.
So go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. First question is now in regards to the distressed properties. Now, suppose you don't know of anyone who is going through divorce or um, came across a death. What would be your suggestion in locating these distressed properties?
All right. All right. Let's start with distress. Okay.
Hmm.
You can start with this the distressed properties. Here's the thing. The crazy thing is the law, the rule is that distressed properties have to become a matter of public record. So you can go on to, wow, just Google foreclosure listings, and there are 20 websites that'll tell you where to find foreclosures. You can go to your bank. You got a good relationship with your bank. Why don't you go to your banker and say, hey, I'm interested in buying distressed properties. Do you guys have an asset management department? Guess what? Every bank you know has an asset management department, and that person who's in charge of asset management is in charge of selling their foreclosures. Let's see. Let me give you another one. Probate lawyers. Divorce sales are represented by probate attorneys. Google probate attorneys in my area. You'll have 30 of them pop up on your screen. And why don't you put in a little bit of work and call them up and say, hey, I buy probate properties. What do I need to do? And guess what? 10 of them will tell you, get lost. Don't call me anymore. And the 11th one will say, hey, you know what? Well, we sell those from time to time. Let me tell you who's in charge. Call Lucy in our resale department and talk to her. And then you get on Lucy's list. And the next time she gets one, she sends that information and boom, now you know about divorce sales. Probate attorneys are for death. Divorce attorneys do divorce sales. The foreclosures and asset managers do distress sales. And guess what? Partnership agreements are recorded as public record as well. So LLCs, LPs, that LP is limited partnership. Those are public information entities where you can find out what their dissolution dates are if you just do a little homework. So,
Okay, on the
go ahead.
partnerships, the partnerships. Who would I contact in regards to that?
Well, I'm going to suggest, and see, Angie, you're like a people person. So I'm going to suggest that you become friends with some attorneys. Because guess who draws up the partnership agreements for partnerships? Attorneys. Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, get to be friends with attorneys. Get involved with attorneys. Learn about, attorneys could be deal killers sometimes. But the fact is, they also are a wealth of information because they have to execute, they have to write operating agreements, they have to execute liquidation agreements. And that's who can tell you, hey, guess what? I'll tell you, I'll give you a story right now, Angie. I found a property this week that's worth $8.5 million that's being sold by a probate attorney who's liquidating a property for two heirs that don't want to own the property anymore.
Oh my!
Do you see what I'm saying? Attorney gives me that information. I take that information and I say, look, I know who will buy that property. Don't worry about putting it on the market. I'll take it. There you go.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Let me get to my second question. Okay, it's in regards to the income-producing properties.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as you know, there are several distressed and abandoned buildings in my area.
Yep.
And I mailed out to the owners, sent out mailings to the owners. Now, I haven't received any responses to what I sent out.
Okay.
What would be your plan of action in moving forward?
Okay, here's what I suggest you do. I got a little trick for you.
Okay.
Okay, so you learned that idea about mail to the owners from somebody we both know and love, right? Okay,
Yes.
let's put that on steroids. Why don't you now choose your favorite 5 properties or 10 properties? Why don't you go to FedEx, Kinko's, or some store like that? Why don't you buy a large envelope that looks like a Federal Express or a special delivery envelope? Why don't you put that letter in that kind of envelope and mail it again?
Mail it again.
Do it again. Same letter, better packaging. Who gets a FedEx-looking letter on their front door and doesn't open it?
Right.
Those get opened 100% of the time. A regular piece of mail in a regular envelope, come on, I got 80 of those sitting on my mantle right now, unopened. But you send me one FedEx today, I bet you it gets open within 30 seconds. Think about it. You get people's attention with a bigger, badder envelope. Some people call it chunky mail. Send chunky mail, that gets opened. Think about it. If you get 10 envelopes in your mailbox and one box on your front porch, what gets opened first?
Oh, the FedEx.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
now, would you request a signature receipt?
Nah, don't worry about that.
No. Okay.
I'm not even saying send it FedEx. I'm saying just go get an envelope that looks like a FedEx or a UPS envelope. Go buy that at the store and mail that sucker yourself. It still gets open and you didn't spend $19 on FedEx.
Right.
It's just the envelope. It's just the shape and the size of the package.
Right. Okay.
How about that, Miss Angie?
Got it. Thanks.
Did I answer your 2 questions?
Well, yes, you did.
I'm sure you got more. I'll holler at you later, okay?
All right.
All right, everybody. That's Angie. That's my girl. That's DC's she's definitely probably my #1 fan. I like that. Thanks, Angie. Thanks for your support. Love you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, listen. We just got informed today. We learned some stuff. We learned about the 4Ds. You know, if you want to know more about the 4Ds, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have Marlon, because I make Marlon do all the hard work. I'm going to have Marlon publish a sheet about the 4Ds. I'll have Marlon put something together about the 4Ds, and I want you to, if you want to get a copy of our definition of the 4Ds, I want you to go to followDaronCampbell.com, and we'll send you the 4Ds in a published kind of format, something that you can keep in front of you, something you can put on your wall, something that you can put on your desk to teach you about the 4Ds. Because I want you to teach your kids about the 4Ds. I want you to teach your family about the 4Ds. I want you to tell everybody you know, hey, Daron showed us behind the curtain today, and he taught us about the 4Ds. That's where you buy discounted real estate. That's where you find discounted real estate opportunities. So go to followDaronCampbell.com, put in your information, and I'll have Marlon send you the information about the 4Ds. How about that? Go to followDaronCampbell.com and we'll tell you about the 4Ds. We'll give you a breakdown of what the 4Ds are. And I'm not going to do it. I make Marlon do all the hard work. I just sit here and look pretty. So at the end of the day, we're going to give you some information, some take-home value, go to followDaronCampbell.com, and that's where we give away the free stuff. We give away the free stuff because I take it out of Marlon's paycheck. The only way it could be free is if I get the money from somewhere to publish this stuff. I take it from Marlon's check. Okay, so everybody go to followDaronCampbell.com and we'll give you a breakdown of the 4Ds. Now, man, time has flown. I like to give you a little bit of takeaway value before the show ends. Let me give you some takeaway value. Before we leave every day, I want to give you something to tweak and grow and improve. What 3 departments? Your brain, your body, and your bank account. Your brain, your body, and your bank account. So, Daron, what are you going to give us today? What are you going to give us? I want to know. Give me something. Okay, I got one thing that's going to improve your brain and your body at the same time. That's a twofer. You ever had a twofer? Okay, let's not even talk about that kind of stuff. Listen, I want you to check out the book called The Sugar Blues. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, you read the book, The Sugar Blues, and wait a minute, let me think. Is that the exact name of it, Marlon? Sugar Blues? I think it's called yeah. It's The Sugar Blues. The Sugar Blues is a book about how the sugar industry has pushed sugar onto society, onto our culture, kind of in a worse way than cocaine or heroin. Sugar, as a matter of fact, sugar has killed more people than cocaine or heroin. Sugar has got us addicted to all the wrong foods and is destroying our brains. It's destroying our bodies. And I want you to read this book called The Sugar Blues. And when you do, you're going to have a different point of view about sugar. You're going to avoid sugar at all costs. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear this from me. Sugar is the devil. It really is. It's bad for your brain. It's bad for your body. And there's an orchestrated system that has put sugar into so much of our food, and it's to our detriment. So I just helped your brain and your body by having you read The Sugar Blues and expand your knowledge about what you're putting in your body. And then as a result of you cutting back or cutting down or cutting out sugar, watch how your weight transforms. Watch how your body, your skin, your vitality transforms. Watch how your energy stops spiking and crashing and spiking and crashing. Read the book, The Sugar Blues, ladies and gentlemen, and you will be informed. This is all about being informed. That's what this whole show is about. Trying to be informed so we can be better. Trying to have a better brain, a better body, and a way fatter bank account. The only thing about you that I want to get fatter is your bank account. Your brain needs to be lean and mean. Your body needs to be lean and mean, and your bank account needs to be fat and happy. How about that? That's what I need you to do. Read The Sugar Blues. It'll trip you out. It tripped me out big time. And at the end of the day, you're going to be shocked. You are going to be shocked. Now, the last thing with respect to your bank account, this is literally about your bank account. I'm going to bring you some examples. I don't have these examples today. There are some new online banks that the concept of an online bank scares some people. But let me tell you something. Online banks are changing the way banking is done. There are online banks now that let you save your money, that charge you zero fees, charge you zero monthly fees, and some of them that will give you a forced savings by rounding up every purchase you make on your debit card and saving the difference. So like if you bought something for $9.53, they'll take the extra 47 cents. They'll just basically run a $10 charge, and they'll take the difference and put it in a savings account for you. I'm going to have Marlon give me a list of those things. Matter of fact, when you go to followDaronCampbell.com, I'm going to give you a list of online banks that will save you money. Monthly fees go away. Your money gets rounded up to force some savings for you. And it's the future of banking, ladies and gentlemen. It's the future of banking. Whew, I am completely out of time. I'm already over 2 hours. What is going on now? I mean, Nick's trying to get in the door so he can get ready for his show, and I won't let him in. We locked the door. We never let Nick and Speedy in until we're done. But I think we're done. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we had a little fun today, and I think we learned something along the way. How about that? What just happened? We were on the road to $1,000,000.com. We learned some $1 million stuff. We learned some $1 million ideas. I think we got educated, and I hope you had a good time while we did it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Daron Campbell. This is the road to $1 million. I'm your real estate mentor, and I will see all of you at the top. See you next week, everybody. Peace.